Yeah, what's up? The disciple Marcello Currents reign back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-telepathy all day, anti-America all day, and everybody with him. Yeah. So this video is going to be about, which is kind of like a campaign for me too. My my constitutional rights, your constitutional rights, and people who break the Constitution but say they're American. People don't get, these authorities don't get to have it their way, any old kind of way. I don't care who they protecting. I don't care what they're trying to investigate. What makes this country American, per se, is our American rights. So that's what bonds us all. Because we all don't live the same life. We don't come from the same walk of life. We're not treated the same. The authorities, the community don't treat us the same. So if you're non-white, you're going to be mistreated by the government, the community, authorities, people like you, people unlike you. Black people don't even treat each other right. They treat other people better than they treat you. And those other people, they have problems with you too. Not in the authorities, and so on and so on and so on. Okay? So everyone's not treated the same. Everyone doesn't have the same experience in America. So when you say what makes a person American, you're gonna get many answers. And particularly here, it's going to be based on race, the different experiences that you have as an American. So there's no one united experience that we share that we can say this is what makes us American. The only thing we have that binds us, because there's so many different experiences, and particularly, like I said, most based on the ethnicity that you are. The only thing that binds us is the Constitution. So if the Constitution is broken, your constitutional rights are broken, or you're breaking them, the only thing that binds us, then you cannot call yourself American, because you have broken the nature, the only true nature that we all can go by, that details us and defines us as Americans. If you break the Constitution, what else you got? I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care if it's good. I don't care if it's bad. There's a lot of famous people that have their rights broken, their constitutional rights broken, and it's just happy fans. Who cares? I don't care if it's a happy person. I don't care if it's a happy fan. You are breaking my constitutional rights. I don't care if you mean well. You're breaking my constitutional rights. That part. And they justify it by thinking they love you. They justify it by thinking they think well of you. There's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of famous people walking around here not feeling the paparazzi. And you can say, well, we mean well, we just want to know who you are. No, you breaking my constitutional rights. You want to know me, pay for it. You want to know who I am, pay. That's what people do. That's what people do in the real world that we live in. We don't live in some galactic, other euphoric land in galaxy, in place. We don't know. You're here in America on Earth, and if you love somebody, like somebody, you want to be around somebody all the time, then pay. Pay. That's what people do. Pay for the service. Pay for the service, bruh. Simple as that. You being entertained, pay for it. Even me doing these videos, if it got to a certain point that it was in demand, it will only make sense for me to put a price on it. It would only make sense. And I'm not talking about necessarily the videos that I'm talking about, my spiritual walk and spiritual things. I'm talking about me as a person. If someone genuinely, if there was a demand for my for my personality specifically, then a demand, I would be a fool not to put a monetary price tag on that. That's how that goes. You're being entertained, pay for it. You know, that's real. Ain't nobody, hey, look, ain't nothing going on but the rent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hear none of that broke fame stuff. That's what people are doing these days. Giving you broke fame. Broke fame. Fame with no money. Nah, bruh, that don't work here. Nah, See, the difference is with famous people, okay, they got rich people problems. Okay, you got fame and you also got money. So while you sitting up and crying, you can cry into $100 bill. Ooh, wipe your eyes with $100 bill. Ooh, I'm so oppressed. They're watching me. But at the same time, you crying into $100 bills though. That part. While people like me, they playing around me for free. I'm not having it. I'm putting the curse of the Lord on them. As for people eavesdropping, people in my building, you ain't gonna make it. I promise you. Your life ain't gonna look the same this time next year. You ain't gonna get you have no good fortune coming to you. Sorry. Should have put a price tag on it. Hey, I don't play no game. It's 2022. Maybe you stuck in some time warp back in 2022, something like that. Maybe you 20 years behind. I'm in 2022. I don't have no time to speculate what you're doing. I don't care. All I know is I know you're there and I'm cursing you and I'm taking care of it. I don't care what it is. I don't personally care. I know whatever it is, if it's human, I can beat it. That's all I need to know. You can be neutralized as a target. Tell you like the military tell you. You can be neutralized as a target. That's all that matters to me. Pretty much. Long as I can neutralize you as a target, I don't care how many number of people it is. You all got brains that could be bust. You all got hearts that could be shot. Simple as that. Simple as that. You can send mass amount of destruction to you as long as you're human, and it will work. And it will definitely work. And I will be asking God to do that. Okay, so, but back to the constitutional rights. If the authorities are breaking your rights, if these feds and these police are breaking your rights, then you as Americans should be checking that. You should be checking that. You shouldn't have nobody breaking your constitutional rights and you just sitting there taking it. No, I know I don't, because see, here's what they'll use. Okay, here's what I tell them. First of all, if you can't do your job without breaking the constitutional rights, then you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be doing it. What makes you American is you're able to keep the Constitution, keep the constitutional rights of other people without breaking constitutional laws. That's what makes you American, is you can maintain the integrity of your position without breaking the constitutional rights of other people. Anybody can break the constitutional rights and per se maybe get a job done, but you have not done it as an American. You went rogue and got the job done, but you didn't do it as an American. So in the process, you became non-American. You became a rogue American citizen. That's what that's called. If the military does unconstitutional operations, they went rogue. Am I right or wrong? They went rogue. You don't call them American anymore. You say they are American military or American police that went rogue, messing around other American citizens. And how did they go rogue? By breaking the constitutional rights of American citizens. Yeah, those are rogue people. I don't care if it's community. I don't care if it's authorities. I don't care what name you put on it, hip hop, street politics, street justice, whatever you call it. It is unconstitutional rogue people. Period. And I don't care what label you pull it on. I don't care secret society, non-secret society, public, non-public. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, they all submit to the Constitution. At the end of the day, they all submit to being an American. At the end of the day, they're quick to tell you that they're American. Meanwhile, they're practicing non-constitutional operations. That's not no American. They went rogue as soon as they broke the constitutional rights. So what they'll do, and here's their excuse. Well, desperate time, desperate measures. How much you want to put on it? I put $1 million on it. That's what they saying. I put $1 million on that. I put $1 million. I guarantee you, among them, at least one person is talking about desperate times, desperate measures. I guarantee you. I guarantee you a cool $1 million. I know I'm right. That's how confident I am, because this is their justification. This is their justification for breaking your constitutional rights. Desperate time, desperate measure. Well, you do that when you wrote the Constitution. You do that when you took an oath to abide by the constitutional rights of others. As a police, military, you knew then that you were abiding by the Constitution. You knew then that it was not sound of mind and sound of laws to break the constitutional rights of others under any circumstances. You knew then. You took those oaths. You did, not me. You took them. You took the constitutional. You took the oaths to uphold the constitutional rights of human beings here in America. And when you broke that, you went rogue. You don't have the luxury of saying, I am still American. No. I don't care if it's desperate times or not. What makes you competent and good for the job is you're able to do your job within the guidelines of the Constitution. That's what makes you competent. Any fool can get up and go start breaking people's rights and got weapons and military weapons. That part, bro. You got a whole bunch of gang of weapons. You got gang of operations you could do. Anybody can do anything and call yourself getting a job done. No. This is what and here's the punchline. What America has to realize is when we have to break the constitutional rights of others, it's time to die. It's time to die. And you must be willing to die rather than breaking constitutional rights. In other words, you have to die as Americans. Boom, boom, boom. You got to die as Americans. Which means you would die protecting the constitutional rights of humanity here in America without breaking their constitutional rights. So that means whatever happens, hey, we're just going to die as Americans. We're not going to go around breaking people's rights, going rogue from the Constitution. going rogue from constitutional rights of Americans, then we just die like this. Because we're not going to go around selecting and playing hot potato and musical chairs and duck duck goose with people's lives, breaking constitutional rights, selecting who we do this with, selecting what is a desperate situation. You just have to die keeping your character, your integrity, and the true definition of who you are as an American. That's an American, and that's dying as an American. You're taking off American and trying to live. You're not American anymore. And if you really were a patriot, then you would make up your mind, hey, we can't just be doing all this stuff. We're just gonna have to die. Because we're not going to be American when we turn around after doing these things. We're not going to be able to have the luxury of looking at people that keep integrity, they keep their integrity and say, hey, we're back. You're looking at other countries and they're looking at you with the side face like that. They cutting their eyes at you like, bruh, like you didn't just do that. No, you're not American anymore. You can't go back to being American after totally violating the only thing that makes us all American. There's nothing but that. Because race, black people are treated differently than white people in America. We don't have the same experience. And I even dare to say that black people are not treated like Latinos. We don't have the same experience. That's not racist. You don't have the same experience here in America. You have a different experience. You have a different neighborhood. If we would look at through your lenses as a camera, it would be a whole different movie. A whole different movie here from a black movie. Looking through the lens of somebody black. We don't share the same experience. You get a little bit of discrimination here and there. That does not even compare. That's a drop in the bucket. Compared to the bad experience black Americans have here. Same thing with Mexicans. You don't share the same experience with us. That's the facts. This isn't a matter of opinion, folks. That's the facts. Why they trying to throw that black and brown? No, I don't do that. No, it ain't no black and brown experience. No, I'm sorry. Black have an experience and brown have an experience. That part. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a bizzle. Let's keep it a bizzle. You got the black experience and you got the brown experience. Okay? So that all being said, no, if a foreigner would ask you, what is it to be American? From black people, you're going to get you're going to get one opinion. From Hispanics, you're going to get another experience. And from Latino, you're going to get another experience. In Asian, you're going to get another experience. In white, you're going to get another experience. There's 4 experiences already. Not to mention all the other races. So if we're not living the same experience, then I can't say, well, what you are is what I am, and what we are, your experience is my experience, and my experience is your experience, and this is what makes us American. We got the same experience. We don't have the same experience. So you can't use our experiences by ethnicity to define us. You can't use our lifestyle and our path to all define us as the same thing. You got it? You got it? Don't be slow now. Okay? So you can't use walks of life and experiences that varies from race to race and ethnicity to ethnicity, from ethnicity to ethnicity in America to say that's what defines us when everybody's having a different experience. That's keeping it a bizzle. That's keeping it a bizzle. That's real. Let's keep it in the bizzle. So what defines us then as an American? What makes us American then? Because those don't work. The only people that's really living the real intended experience of American is the white Americans. They're the ones living it. They're the ones you need to ask what America is. You need to ask them. You can't ask anybody else. You can't. And get a real answer, an authentic answer, an experience based on the monies here, based on this being a superpower. The only people who enjoy the luxuries and the real experience that should be given to Americans is the white Americans, for the most part. Okay? So then what binds us? The constitutional rights that we all have. Although you may not have as much, although you may not be living in luxury, although you may not have fame as the famous Americans, what binds us all is the constitutional rights that we all have and should have. Okay? So when those rights are broken, those ones who have broken these laws specifically have denied, in my opinion, their American citizenship. You're no longer American, brother. You're rogue and don't even know it. You rogue as a bug, don't even know it. I'm just keeping it a bizzle. You rogue. You are a rogue individual. That's what you are. You can't practice rogueness, if you will, and then talk about I'm American. That's how people get thrown out the military. That's how police get thrown off the police force for being rogue. Doing something other, and I guarantee you that other is breaking constitutional rights in some form or fashion. You get thrown away from an upstanding position when you break constitutional rights in America. So if your government is doing it, it doesn't matter who is present day because they didn't write it. None of them did. So you can't let them intimidate you. I don't care nothing about these police. I don't care nothing about these FBI. I don't care nothing about the government. That's how you know how you're living. When you have no fears of these people. That shows you where you at, where you living at, and how you living. I don't have no fear of these people. Because I'm upholding something that defines us all, and that was here before you got here. While you was a big head toddler, these laws were already in place. While your parents were going on romance dates, these laws were already in place. While your grandparents were getting to know each other, these laws were already in place. You can't stand up to me when I'm talking about this. I know better than that. I know way better than that. And I wish half of these Americans would know way better than that, man. You let these people sit up in your face like they got some kind of super integrity over you. Like you still a kid. Ooh, look at the police. Ooh, we did something wrong. You ain't did nothing wrong. Why you bowing your head down in the presence of police when they out there shooting people down? When FBI always got some kind of scandal going on, questionable stuff going on. All the people in the government got some question. They got something going on now that one of them done did. Donald Trump and it's always something. And you sit up there bowing down to these people like they're holy, like they're greater than you in some form or fashion as far as their integrity. Nah, I look them right in the face. Because I look them right in the face. You put your pants on just like I do in the morning. You put your pants on, you use number ones and number twos in the bathroom just like me. You ain't no better. You wipe your butt just like I do. You wash your butt or you wash your butt just like I do. Okay? It's time to humanize everybody so that we can be treated equally. Humanize everybody. That's all these politicians, that's all these police, that's all the government, that's all these thugs and community. I'm humanizing everybody. That's equal at this point. That's how we're going to get stuff done at this point. Everyone's human. There's no big I's and little U's. Because the big I's ain't even doing what they supposed to be doing. Take a look around. And then they trying to judge you and investigate you with 40 states allowing adults to have sex with children. Breaking people's constitutional rights, talking about desperate times, desperate measures. Again, you should be able to do your job in a competent nature and that's what makes you American, keeping the constitutional rights of others. This is what makes you American. Not trying to be rogue, not going rogue and talking about desperate times, desperate measures. No. You just went rogue, buddy.